Yeah, good evening. So, you start a business up and it's growing and growing, and you reach a point where, you know, your income is comfortable. Would you say there's a point where you stop growing, you would choose to stop, even when there's opportunities? Or?
Yeah, I mean, but it's a good question, and it very much depends on you, the individual. You know, as I said earlier on, it made my first couple of million quid in 1981, whatever it was. Some people would have said, that's it, I'm off. But you don't, you know, it's entirely up to you. It's when you get that, that feeling of satisfaction that you've achieved something and done it on your own. It's kind of unexplainable, really, and you want to do more. And unlike the profession of sport, for example, football, the gentleman talked about there, a football player gets to a certain age, you can't do more. But a business person can carry on and do more and more and more. It's really up to them where they want to stop. If they want to stop or not, it's what you want in life, really. Work balance, for example, work social life balance.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Well, Sugar, on that point there, are there any that would come to mind qualities, some like essential qualities of entrepreneurs, successful business owners that you'd like to share?
Well, I think, I mean, as far as quality is concerned, this is my ethos, really, is that, you know, you must be honest, straightforward, don't beat around the bush, tell it as it is, and it might not be what people want to hear initially, but over the long haul, you grow respect, right, from those people. You keep your promises, you become honourable, and that is very, very important in business, right, with whoever you're dealing with, because, you know, fly-by-nights are exactly what they are, fly-by-nights. They don't last. Opportunities which are morally incorrect and wrong don't last. You know, it's things where you know things are not right, but yet you're going to make some money on it in the short term are no good. I think that, you know, you have to have morals and you have to have self-discipline, and you have to put your head on your pillow at night and think, well, you know, I'm happy with myself, you know, and that's very, very important.
Yes, this lady in the red has been itching and moving on her seat. Give her the mic, please. And then what we'll do is, yes, there's someone in the pink waving at me right at the back. Right? Just this person here first.
Lord Sugar, I've got a small medium business that I've created a couple of years ago. In regards to your first statement with finances, not relying on government and banks, I haven't done so. I've created a client base, but sometimes, unfortunately, they choose their own times for when they actually want to pay out. Obviously, you put terms and conditions on the actual invoices, but unfortunately, they don't always follow suit. Where else, other than banks and government, could I go to for support in regards to this? Obviously,
you can't.
this is
you need to get
overheads.
yourself. You need to chase for your money. No one's
Constantly.
Yes,
I constantly
absolutely.
do.
So you just got to chase for your money. There's no fast track solution.
When you've got overheads going out, staff wages,
yes,
offices...
I've got it. I've got your point. I'm giving you the answer. Okay, you need to chase for your money, or you need to employ somebody, if you can afford to, that its sole purpose in life is credit control and chasing for the money. And the second point is, if you consistently have a customer that doesn't pay you, you don't need that customer anymore. It's just not worth it. Time and effort, not worth doing the business with them.
Very much. Do you have the mic out to the person at the back there? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, Lord Sugar. I wanted to know, throughout your journey, what has been your ratio from taking risks, so your appetite for risk, versus being sensible?
Yeah, well, sensible in life is me, I would say. Taking risks is in things that I understand, as I explained to the gentleman over there earlier and then if I have, then once I amassed my, I suppose, wealth, and needed to diversify from the core business which gave me that wealth, that's when I became quite a cautious person, simply because, as I said earlier on, getting involved in taking risks in an area you don't understand, you can lose things as quick as you made them. So I think, you know, is just repeating what I said earlier on, stick to what you know, and if business is a risk. There's no such thing as the kind of Harvard Business School module that you open up and start reading page 1, buy this, take it to shop, sell it to man, make profit, put money in bank. No, it don't work that way, I'm afraid, because the world is not waiting for you out there. You know, and they're not waiting for you with your product, or with all due respect, your young lady's application for the iPad. They're not waiting for you. There's millions and millions of people out there.
Well, give a round of applause. We'll take 2 more questions and then wrap one. Is there anybody that you'd like to point out there?
This has been an unlucky area for questions there. Give him one. Let him have the microphone. Let's hope we get a sensible question. Yeah, off you go.
As an honourable member of the Parliament, 2 questions. What challenges do you face on the day-to-day, and what laws would you like to improve in order to improve the business climate in UK?
Well, I think the government's responsibility is to create, I mean, the last thing you want is government interfering in business. That's the last thing, because they don't know what they're doing. But what you do need for them to do is to create a kind of level playing field, an area where you're allowed to trade freely, but there's no obstacles in your way, and create a good business environment. Now, how do you create a good business environment? Well, I think the starting point would be is for the politicians to stop electioneering and trying to get support from the public by pointing at people like bankers that are getting bonuses and whining on about banks that won't lend money to small companies, because that, trust me, is absolutely electioneering. It is total electioneering. It is totally to get people on side. It's a classic example of saying, see that bloke over there, he got paid a lot of money by a bonus, and there's us, the great politician who's trying to look after you, the normal people. So please vote for me next week. And that's really, simply, that's really what is going on. So what we need to do is to create a culture of enterprise. In America, for example, we suffered terribly, like we did in 2007, 2008 and all that. They've gone past that stage now. They're all talking themselves up again, yeah, which you got to admire about them. We're talking a load of rubbish, but they're talking themselves up again. And there's a kind of a feel-good factor, really, right? Whereas we here, you know, are not in that position yet. We need to create an environment to create enterprise, not to depress it. And in the case of banks not lending money to companies, I'm not sure I've already said this tonight, but in my experience when I was an advisor for the government, there was allegations that this was going on, and I carried out a thorough investigation into it, and I found out 2 things. One, that a lot of companies are depressed. They don't want any money. They want to tighten their belts at the moment. They're not interested in expansion. They're not interested in taking risks. And we don't want any money, thank you very much. This is what I'm hearing from some of the banks whose companies they would lend money to, because the companies are run properly and they've got assets. Isn't that, it's terrible to hear that. And then there's the other side of the coin of the moaners that are moaning that the bank won't give them any money, won't help them, blah, 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 blah. And when you analyse those companies, they're all skint. And you wouldn't lend them a penny. And they're the ones that shout and scream the most and go to find the Daily Mail journalist to write an article, right? And they're the ones that they find a journalist to you know, write about, a politician to write about. So we need to create a more of a feel-good factor in the marketplace, that you can do it. And the starting point there is, don't read the Daily Mail, I think.
We're going to take one final question and we'll do closing. So Lord Sugar, you can pick the final person. There you go.
There's a gentleman waving there. There he is. Right ahead.
He really looks in this direction.
Over here. But do this one here and one more over there. Yeah, okay.
Where's the other one? Over there?
Yeah, okay. Come on.
Get the
Let's
mic.
hear
The other
this. This
mic.
better be
The other
good.
mic
This
one
better
over
be
there.
good. Come on.
I'll try my best. My name's Vernon. Basically, I went from working for a company to self-employed. Now I've got a small business myself. Thank you. Now, my question is, obviously, with these times, quite tight for some people, especially small businesses trying to make money, trying to build my team. When do you stop nurturing people, realize it's time to just say you're fired? And
So, sorry, can you start again, because the microphone's intermittent. You say you've got a business.
I said I've got a business at the moment.
And how many people do you employ?
Well, at the moment I've got 3 people on my books, but I've also got subcontractors as well.
Yeah.
But my main thing is trying to work out.
Is what?
My thing I'm trying to work out is that when do you stop trying to nurture someone in that team and decide it's time for them to be fired?
You mean you've invested in helping them, trying to get them to work well, and they're just not performing? Is that what you're saying? And they
have the best intentions, but obviously time is money.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and it's a difficult one. I think that what you need to do in future is, and I don't know if these guys that you're talking about there are long-term employees or contractors or whatever. But the contractors actually, you know, you can let go if you want to.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, and I always find this is, you know, an important thing, is that always take someone on and make sure they sign a contract of employment which allows either party to say no thanks really after 6 months, if you understand what I mean, with no hard feelings, no reasons or anything like that, but after 6 months either of us can actually part company. Because I think if you're running your business properly, you should, within 6 months, you should get to know whether that individual has got the plot or not.
Right, brilliant, thank you.
Just behind him, Mike Runner, just behind him, the gentleman standing there. Thank you. Let's be fine.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd just like to say sorry to everyone whose view are blocking behind me. Good evening, Lord Sugar. I'm not a lord like that fake who is standing at the front.
Are you going to sing or something or what?
Sorry?
Are you going to sing?
No, I'm not going to sing. No, I'm not. Okay, right. Just a quick question. How do you manage your targets, and how do you stay on your pipeline management? Like, how do you stay on top of it?
How do you manage your targets?
And how do you stay on top of your pipeline management? Like, how do you control it? And
well, I think one of my very first answers I gave here this evening was about monitoring your progress on a day-to-day basis, even if you start your business on a Monday morning and you want to see by Monday night how much money you've made, whatever. I mean, that you just extrapolate that into far more sophisticated monitoring processes to see how you're doing. Very important to be constantly monitoring how things are going. Finger on the pulse stuff, you know. I didn't get the second part of the question. What was that?
How do you... Sorry, hello, 1, 2. MC. Right. How do you stay on top of your pipeline management?
You mean my plumber you're talking about?
No, I'm sorry.
What's pipeline management?
How do you manage your pipeline? How do you on top of it? Your business.
Okay, on that pipeline and unblocking and so on. There you go. What it is I'm fascinated that, you know, we talk about what you said there about monitoring, reviewing, capture those lessons where you said to me about check in each week, see how you go. What's it's come up to 50 years of you in business, and I know I've asked you before about what drives you. You always talking about is the deal. So what I really want to go is like, what is next? And it's like, what do you do? What do you just sit there and plan and go, this is what I want to achieve? Do you wait for the opportunities? How do you set your goals and what do you do? And what can we possibly look forward to from Lord Sugar?
For me, it's something always comes along. I can't explain it. It's some opportunity comes along, because if ever there's a void in my kind of business life, you start to get bored, and I'm not saying you can go out of your way to find things to do. So I've been fortunate enough, and in the past 40 odd years or so, while I was manufacturing, it's the kind of question you ask every September, because September is normally the launch time for new products, yeah? And you think to yourself, bloody hell, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do next? But there's always something there, particularly in the electronics business, in the computer industry. There was always something there. So something came along, and then more recently there's been challenges. People have come to me. For example, there's YouView, which is this new television system where you've got Channel 5, Channel 4, ITV, BBC, BT, TalkTalk, non-profit making organisation has got together, and we're going to be launching a new television system later this year, which it operates off of a set-top box, and you collect your TV pictures by connecting to the internet as well as to a normal television aerial, and we're off into it's a very exciting kind of world, and there's no money in it for me. It was just I got a call from the head honchos from this organisation and said, we need you to come sort this out. And so that's what that's the type of thing that comes along, really.
Wow. And I believe on behalf of everybody else, we hope that buzz for the deal continues.
Yeah.
Because we know you're going to be adding value to even more people. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Sugar. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Speakers coming on.